Hello, good afternoon, dzień dobry wszystkim. We start the first Greek tasting in the history. And Manolis, are you here? Are you with us? Manolis? Well, it's 6 your time. Yes. Hello. You're mute, I think.
Hello, Piotr.
Hello,
everybody.
Yeah. Hello. So let me introduce to you Manolis from ENOAP, from Union of Peloponnese Winemakers, and well, yes, Greek presentation. 18 brave wines with us. So stay safe, and yes, use the spittoons. Yes, don't forget it. It's a long tasting. We never had a tasting long as this one. Yeah. So Manolis, please, the floor is yours. Let's start with a short introduction. Yeah.
Thank you, Piotr. I want to thank you and all the participants here, because it's our first tasting that we make for the Polish people of wine, and we are very thrilled about that. We intend to keep on that because we want to know about the Polish market and to distribute the news that the Greek wines, and especially the Peloponnesian wines, have a lot to say. Peloponnesian wines is it's a unique terroir. Actually, it's too many terroirs altogether, and we are very proud to present you 18 of the wineries, 9 today and 10 in the second webinar, that give you different styles of wines, different tastes, from different grape varieties. I want to start a little bit about the presentation for ENOAP and tell you also that except of the wines, there are a lot of reasons to come to Greece, and especially the Peloponnese. But we start with the wines of the Peloponnese. Can we have the next slide, please? The Wine Producers Association of the Peloponnese Vineyards was founded in the 1st of June, 1998 at Tripoli. Relatively new association, but also it's the largest wine producers association in Greece, with more than 60 active members from all the counties of Peloponnese. People asking me why Greek wines is not very well known to the people, and although we have a history of winemaking, I mean something like 2000 BC, and there's a story about that. First, we have made the wines, the winemaking, not only making the grapes, but a long time ago. But then we were taken after the Byzantine Empire by the Ottoman Empire, and for 400 years we were occupied by the Turks, which were Muslims, and also forbidden us for drinking alcoholic beverages, including wine. That was a big problem for us, which was liberated in the 19th century, and then we came up for the 2 world wars, and then we started to spread again the news about the Greek wines. So that's a short history about why Greek wine, although making wine is so ancient, you don't know it till now. As you see in the map of the Europe, we are down there in the south. Actually, Peloponnese is on the same level of with Sicily, but has difference. As you see in the map, it's mountainous in there. And when we say mountainous, you find a lot of valleys and a lot of plateaus. That means that it's very easily circulate the air there, and it gives the reason to produce wines with primary aromas easily made. We will talk about that later, and I want you to go to the next slide. To think about Greece, we produce less than 2% of the total productions of the world. And that means that even though we want everybody to drink Greek wine, we can't. So we could say it's only for the connoisseur, but no, Greece made wines for everybody, from the top level sommelier and wine lovers to the everyday people can understand the wine. 90% of our production is indigenous grape varieties. We got more than 300 indigenous grape varieties. That means if we wanted to marketing them and we wanted to market one grape variety each year, it will need for us 3 centuries to send you the message for just 1 year that we have indigenous grape varieties. So it's difficult, and we are focused on only a few of them right now. But we hope that your people after you will still learning about Greek wines. When we're talking about Peloponnese, producing 29 to 30, 31, depending on the year, of the 1% of the wine productions of Greece. And we make this seminar today to introduce you the wines and make Poland one of our major export places. Right now, as you see on the bottom, the first is Germany with 33%, then it comes United States, and then France. Some could ask why France, because we sent a lot of dessert wines there because they really love it. And we have, as you see in the picture, the first 15 grape varieties that we have, with very first one, Sabatiano, which is almost 17%. Mostly white wines are cultivated, are made in Greece, because we are a warm country, but not a hot country. Remember that I told you that we are in the same level with Sicily, but because we are surrounded by the sea, and also we have mountains and a lot of valley and plateaus, the air circulates in there and give a freshness. So it's not so hot. That means we have, because of the air and the warm temperature, we have less humidity, and less humidity means we have less infection in our vineyards, and so we use less SO2. Less SO2 means it can liberate the primary aromas of the fruit very easily. So when you open up a Greek wine, especially Peloponnese wine, you don't have to wait to taste it or to smell the aromas, but it just come out very easily from the very beginning. So we go to the next slide. Talking about Peloponnese, we have almost 30%, sometimes some years more, a little bit more than 30, some years a little bit less than 30% of the total production of Greece. And our 10 major PDOs are Mandinia, which is famous for the Moscofiller, or Patras, which is famous for Roditi, Robola from Kefalonia, which is a small island but belongs to Peloponnese, and we have for Agorgitico in the region of Nemea, PDO Nemea, and then we have some dessert wines, which is the Muscat of Patras, the Muscat Friopatras, Muscat Kefalonia, Monevaskia of Malvasia, which Malvasia is a very ancient grape variety, and Mavrodaphne of Patras and Mavrodaphne of Kefalonia. So 10 PDOs, 2 of the 4 most known grape varieties, Moschofilero and Agorgitico in the Peloponnese. The other 2 that you might heard is Xinomavro from Nausa in the north of Greece, and the other one is Assyrtiko from the island of Santorini. These are the 4 most known grape varieties. I have to tell you that even in Peloponnese, we have a lot of Assyrtiko too. On PGIs, we have a lot. Till now, we have 18 and still growing because we have different terroirs and each place gives different style of wines. And the wine producers in Peloponnese trying to improve indigenous grape varieties and produce different wines, so please every taste in the world that you can imagine. Can we move to the next slide? Now, people come to Peloponnese for the last at least 10 years also for wine tourism, and we are very proud of it because we are considered a wine country, although we are a big place, not just an island. We're connected with Greece, but with a very small earth, a small place, as you see in there in the map. Actually, Peloponnese means the island of Pelopas. Pelopas was the very first king of the region of Peloponnese, and because it's surrounded by sea, it resembles to a big island. So that's what it means, Peloponnese, and we're very proud to have and hope we see many of you coming to Peloponnese for wine tourism, but not only for that. Can we move to the next slide? Thank you. The good thing about Peloponnese is that back 1250 to 1100 before Christ, where we have the culture of winemaking, and not only the winemaking, but also the sommelier. That means that we have special cups for drinking wine and people that serve the wines. Our mythology tells us that Dionysus, who was the god of wine, learned the Greek people to appreciate the wine, first to make it and then to appreciate it and build a culture about the wine. That's what we found, a golden cup back in 1876 by Heinrich Schliemann, a German archaeologist, in the Mykine, which is an ancient fort and town back in the ancient Greece. Can we move, please? In 2015, Peloponnesian Wines make a study especially for the wine tourism of Peloponnese and produced the Peloponnese Wine Roads, which we will see in the next slide. In this study, were recorded not only the wineries, but also the sightseeing, the restaurants and taverns and hotels, because we want the visitor of Peloponnese to see the interactive relation between the wineries and the whole touristic industry of Peloponnese, and to spend a good time when come in Peloponnese, which we will see in the next slide. Every county, we have 7 counties in Peloponnese. We make different wine roads in each county to follow the interests of each one visitor of Peloponnese. We move a little bit further. In Peloponnese, you have environmental and adventure tourists, which actually comes to wineries also, historical tourism and sightseeing. Up in the, yes, gastronomy tourists and religion tourism. I wish you could visit the Peloponnese Wine Road site and to welcome you there. And we move to the next slide to show you each county, some of the wine roads and the wineries that related there. Argolis, it's one of the countries, has 3 wineries, and we see on the next slide some of them from the interior and outside. We move to the second, Arcadia, which has 8 wineries, and we can see some of them in the next slide. Achaia, more wineries. It's in the west side of Peloponnese, and we can see more wineries in there. Ilia, which is to the ancient, where situated the ancient Olympia, where the Olympic Games was first held, has 6 wineries. We see some of them. Corinth, which is in the region, has there the region of Nemea, and has most of our wineries are situated there. You can see some of them in the next slide. Laconia, most probably you know them from the film 300 with Sparta and Leonidas, has 3 wineries there, and the wineries that you can see there, one is there. Messenia, 2 wineries, and there you go. So tonight, I wish you to enjoy the Peloponnese wine from these 7 different counties. And if you want, you could visit, if you want to know more about Greek wine and especially Peloponnese wine, you should visit these 2, www.enoap.org and peloponnesianwineroads.com, and you learn more, or Piotr will give you our email and contact us to send you more information. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Manolis, for this introduction. And don't leave us. Stay with us, please. We start the tasting. We start the tasting with the first winery from Arcadia, and this is Domain Skouras. Hello, Aris.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Hello. Yeah. So yes, we hear you, and you come back with the 10 wine number 10. Yes, but now it's Moscofilero from your winery, and the floor is yours.
Well, thank you very much. Just a small note that the winery is based in Argolida, actually, in the region of Nemea. But we cultivate Moscofilero as well from Arcadia, from Mandinia region. This is the front entrance of the winery, but I think we can go directly to the second slide. So this is a map of the most important Greek wine regions. As you can see, Peloponnese, as Manolis mentioned, is located in southern Greece. Nemea and Mandinia are the 2 main regions that we're focusing on, and where most of the vineyards are found. So Nemea is in the northeast, and Mandinia is in the central of Peloponnese. Next slide, please. Thank you. So Mr. George Skouras is the chief winemaker and the owner of the estate. He established Domaine Skouras in 1986 after he finished his studies in France. Next one, please. Our philosophy is reflected in 4 words. It's purity, varietal clarity, tracing of the region's mesoclimate, and imprint of the terroir. So these words are very important for us, and the whole team is working constantly to make sure that all these are reflected in our wines. The vineyards we have consist of both Greek and international grape varieties, like Agrigetico, Moscofilero, Rhoditis, Assyrtiko, Syrah, Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, and others. The vines are located in 4 main regions, in the wider areas of Corinth and Argolida, and inside the PDO appellations of Nemea and Mandinia. And they're climbing from 60 meters up to 1,040 meters. The most important varieties of our region is Agrigetico. It's a red grape variety from the Nemea appellation, and is the higher quality grapes are found in higher altitude. Nemea in general is a region that has many different mesoclimates and terroirs and soils, so it's not easy to discuss about typicity here. But generally speaking, the higher quality grapes are coming from higher altitudes where you can retain higher acidity and good color and primary aromas. Here you see a couple of photos from 2 important vineyards. The one on the left is from the Nemea Grand Cuvée. Is a single vineyard that's up to 1,040 meters, which is a very difficult altitude to cultivate a red variety. And on the right is our flagship wine, the vineyard that makes the flagship wine, Megasinos, is located in 700 meters on rocky soils. And here you see Moscofilero in Mandinia region. So we have 3 main soil types. Sandy soils are located in Mandinia, as you can see in the photo, and clay and rocky soils are located in Nemea, depending on the altitude. As you can see, Moscofilero is not exactly a white grape variety. It's a pink reddish variety. Reminds a lot of Gewürztraminer or Pinot Grigio when you see it, but it's a very aromatic variety that gives fresh, light, and aromatic wines. Here you have a few photos from the winery. So since 2004, we have been based in our new premises. So this is an ultra-modern, state-of-the-art winery just outside of Argos town. And here we can ensure the quality of the grapes and the vinification in the whole procedure. But at the same time, we are able to welcome many guests every year, both professionals and non-professionals. And just an indication, in 2019, just before the pandemic, we had around 20,000 visitors that year. And this is a very important aspect of the business for us. Our cellar, we have steady temperature and humidity where the wines can age gracefully. So at the moment, we cultivate around 40 hectares of privately owned vineyards and approximately another 40, which we manage due to long-term relationship with our growers. The annual production is approximately 850,000 bottles, and 50% of that is exported in more than 20 countries. So some of the things that we're focusing on for the future is to create some single vineyard Agrigetico from Nemea, which is a very difficult task. We're focusing more on indigenous varieties. We are doing plantings of new clones of Ayurvedico, and we're trying to adapt to climatic change by planting higher. You can visit our website. If you want, I have some couple of links here. The website is www.skouras.gr. So this is the first wine we're tasting today. This is a Moscow Filler 2020. As you can see, this is a PGI Arcadia, and even though the vineyards are located inside the PDO of Mandinia, the winery is not. So the winery is located in Argolida. So that for that reason, we cannot call it PDO Mandinia. So it's a PGI Arcadia. Okay, so Moscofiro, as I mentioned earlier, is a pink reddish variety. So you have to be very careful where how you treat it. This one is fermented in stainless steel tank. It has a very short maceration, approximately 4 hours in low temperature. And we only take around 56% of the juice. So it's quite low, but we don't want to have any extraction of color. And also, the longer you leave it with the skins, you have different flavor profile, more floral, and it's not the style that we prefer. So this one is a fresh, aromatic wine. It has intense citrus and floral notes. It has lovely acidity. It's a very food-friendly wine and medium-bodied, and I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Aris.
Thank you very much for everything.
Thank you. Stay with us because you will come back as number 10, right? Thank you. And yes, Maria, hello.
Hello.
So the second wine, and Maria and Strophilia. Yes.
Well, hello to everyone. I'm the daughter of the owner of Strophilia Wines. I'm Maria Maltezu, and I'm enologist and marketing manager at the company right now. So we have been producing wine for almost 40 years now. So since 1980, as you can see. So we can go over to the next slide, please. So Strophilia is, I think that is one of the most dynamic Greek wine companies right now in Greece. We own 2 wineries, and we cultivate more than 50 hectares of vineyards, either privately owned and under long-term contracts with which follow our specifications, of course, with indigenous and international grape varieties. In Peloponnese, our winery is in Asprokabos, and mountain is Nemea, so it's high altitude mountain vineyards in Greece. We can go to the next slide. We focus, of course, on indigenous Greek grape varieties, and especially for exports. That's a big deal for us. Our second winery is in Attica. So an urban winery next to Athens is very, very important for wine tourism, and we try to get the most out of it. Strophilia has privately owned and collaborating vineyards in 3 main areas. We have in Anavissos of Attica region, where our first winery is located there. We have in Asprokabos in Nemea, where we talk about high altitude vineyards over 800 meters, 900 meters, and that is very important factor for the soil and the total result of the vinification. And then in Mamousia in Aegialia, where Strophilia has been working with local wine growers since 1992. We can go to the next slide. This is our winery in Attica, as you can see, and I hope someday you'll come and visit us. It's beautiful. This is our wine tasting room, theater, when we do all our wine tasting and we welcome our visitors there. So this is quite interesting. What you can see here. So what have we done is that we do the lira system in most of our vineyards, privately owned vineyards in Peloponnese, in Asprokabos, and in ancient Nemea. So almost in 1/3 of our vineyards, the shaping of the stem wall in the lira system is applied. We want the best quality option for the temperate climates we have there. So Achilles Lamsidis, who is the partner of my father, he's the co-owner of Strophilia, has made extensive experiments since 2002 in ancient Nemea and in Asprokabos and in Psari. These are regions of Peloponnese, trying to find a solution to the excessive liveliness of vineyards in Nemea. So I don't know if you have ever seen this system before, but I can assure you that due to the 50% increase in the exposure of the surface of the stem wall, the resulting improvement in the biological balance of the plant has also a very, very positive effect in the quality of the produced wines. That's all about lira system, and very difficult for us, but it has produced really, really quality wines over the years. We can go to the next slide. These are some of our vineyards in Peloponnese. As you can see, the harvest period. A picture of our winery in Asprokabos. The important thing is that we have the oak, the wines aged in oak barrels, but we have also the stainless steel tanks that we keep the rosés mostly and the white wines. Okay, we love our people, so I wanted to show you a happy face of George. He helps us with the winery in Asprokabos, and this is a time in the harvest, which is a happy time for us in Strophilia. So these are the wines. So Strophilia wine. Strophilia white is a dry white wine. It's a PGI Peloponnese, and it's a blend of Rhodiotis and Sauvignon Blanc. I think it's one of the most famous white wines in Greece. The production is almost 40 years now of this label. Sauvignon Blanc is a very fruity floral variety. It's fresh, maybe herbaceous as well, and with a refreshing character. Strophilia is in northern Peloponnese, mountain vineyards in northern Peloponnese. So Rhodiotis is from Mamousia Plateau in Aegialia, and Sauvignon Blanc is from Asprokabos. Sauvignon Blanc is in lira system, as I told you before. The harvest time is during September. Vinification takes place separately for each variety, and after careful sorting and crushing, the grapes are subjected to a sort of pre-fermentation. Stainless steel tank only, this wine, no barrel at all. It has a green-yellow color. I think it's a fresh and lively aromatic character with citrus aromas as well because of Rhodiotis. I would say that Rhodiotis could be a little bit humble variety, I would say, but it can yield distinct and excellent wines as well. The Sauvignon Blanc as well gives to the wine body structure and complexity. And of course, it has aging potential, although it's a fresh white wine. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Maria. Thank you very much. Sorry we made you hurry a little bit, but you managed very well.
I have no problem. Thank you.
Actually, the lira system we know from. I hope that, and it's know from our last tasting of Ersteragen, which it was a famous Brundelmeier wine, also made by the lira. Yeah. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you have seen it before, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
once, yes. Okay, thank you very much, and come back as number 11. Okay, hello.
Hi, how are you?
So this is Palivu Estate and Panagouria.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, my name is Panagouria Bervenioti. I represent Ktima Palivu. Can I have the next slide, please? The best way to describe our winery is as an old farm surrounded by many vines. Palivu's family tradition in viticulture goes back long enough that no one basically in the family can actually remember the first vine that was planted. In 1995, the old traditional trading tank was replaced by a contemporary winery. But of course, the passion of Mr. George Palivos remains the cultivation. And we can see it from his most characteristic statement, which is that behind the wine is the vine grower, and back through the years his skills. And behind all of it all are the vines, the sun, the rain, and the master's will. That is why at this moment we invest a lot to the land. And we have approximately 40 hectares of privately owned vineyards. Of course, really good quality grapes should be handled properly to give us the best possible wine. So his daughter, Evangelia Palivou, studied in France, and more specifically in Burgundy, and nowadays is the chief winemaker. And she always tried to implement the tradition with modern techniques. Of course, the winery is run by the whole family, so the wife of Mr. Yorgos G. Palivou is really important for the daily operations of the cellar and the vineyard. And his other daughter, Vasiliki Palivou, is at the administrative part. And me, even if I'm just an employee, I feel as well as a member of the family. We are located in Nemea region. The zone is characterized as protected designation of origin for the variety Georgitico, as the others have already said. Georgitico in English means St. George. And the area of Nemea is planted with approximately 6,000 hectares, and half of them are from variety Georgitico. The climate of the region is characterized as typical Mediterranean. The average annual temperature is 17 degrees Celsius, and the average annual rainfall is 550 millimeters. In Greece, in total, there are 33 zones characterized as protected designation of origin and 114 zones characterized as protected geographical indication. Next slide, if you want. It is important to us to show respect to the land and maintains its balance. And we wish to keep cultivating the land for many more years and pass it to the next generation if possible. So we apply organic and biodynamic viticulture, and we are certified as organic by Cosmocert. Nemea is quite big, so it starts at an altitude of 200 meters and goes up to 850 meters. Of course, Nemea is not entirely uniform because of the size, and regarding the altitude, it is subdivided to 3 zones with a different microclimate, resulting in a different time of harvest, color intensity, acidity, etc. And proportionally, every place has grapes suitable for different type of wines. Our vineyards are located in ancient Nemea at an altitude between 340 and 420 meters altitude. And it is considered the second zone of Nemea, and it includes many slopes. The soil composition of the vineyards in Nemea also varies a lot. An average is that the organic content is average. We have moderate alkaline pH and relatively high calcium carbonate content. So all these except from that, we can see that we do precipitation, precision, viticulture. In a collaboration with the university, we do 3 researches at this moment. If you want to the next slide, please. We have 12 different labels at this moment. We produce 350,000 bottles per year. And we use many vessels, stainless steel tanks, French and American oak barrels, acacia barrels, amphoras. The next one, please. The wines. Okay, sorry. In general, we produce Rhodetes Moscofile, Roma Lagousia, Viognier, Chardonnay, Cabernet Sauvignon, Syrah, and Merlot. But we have chosen 2 representative of our wines. The first one is Stone Hills. It consists 50% of Chardonnay because we want to have the structure on the body from Chardonnay and the acidity that gives us, and 50% of Malagousia to enhance the aromatic profile. We harvest the grapes early in the morning and we transfer them to the winery in trucks with the refrigeration. And afterwards, we do a cold maceration for both varieties at 7 degrees Celsius for 8 hours. We want to preserve the aromas intense, so the alcoholic fermentation that follows takes place in stainless steel tank with a control of temperature at 12 till 14 degrees Celsius. And we want to have a better mouthfeel, so we do a batonnage for approximately 1 month. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and stay with us because we're coming back with number 15. Yes.
Okay.
So stay with us. Yes, and now, ladies and gentlemen, because we have to hurry because time's going, and now it's Amperones Vasiliou and Ktimana Vasiliou. So Gika, please join us. Gika, hope you are the Gika. Hello. Yeah. You almost did it. Nemeon Vasiliou from Corinthia. Gika, hello? Mano.
She's not online?
Yeah, she's not online? Oh.
I don't know.
Hello.
Just checking with her. Let me check it.
Okay, so perhaps we're gonna pass to the next wine, yeah? What do you think? La Fazanis again. No, it's not again. Sorry. La Fazanis. Hello, Vasilis.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
hello.
you're here. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, this is the next wine. Okay, so this is not number.
Perfect.
This is not Amperones Vasiliou. So change your glasses and go to the next wine, to Geometria.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Piotr.
Thank you.
First of all, let me congratulate Manolis, who did a really good introduction to the Peloponnese region. I will talk about our winery, the La Fazanis winery, which is located in ancient Kleonès, which is a small village in the Nemea region. It stands about in 250 meters above sea level. it is we are producing wine for 76 years now, from my grandfather to my father, now to me. It's a family business. I am the chief enologist, nice term, and my sister Afina is in the marketing team of the winery. My brother is now serving in the Greek army, but he's going to come back in a few months and take over our vineyards. Of course, we own another, as of the last 8 years, we own another winery in Peloponnese, Nestor, which is in Messinia. And we are going to taste today a wine which is called Geometria. Oh, thank you very much. Geometria is a very important wine for me personally and for the winery. It's the first wine that I produced as an enologist. I am the enologist of the winery for the last 3 years. Our land around the wineries is about 500 acres, 50 hectares. And
sorry, Vasilis, could you speak louder a little bit, because there is some problem with your microphone, perhaps? Yeah.
Okay. Have you heard anything of what I said? Yes, you did. Okay. I try to speak loud.
We did. Okay.
Okay. So our land around the winery is about 50 hectares. About half of that is now vineyards that are up to age and can give us wines that are well balanced and full-bodied. The Geometria is a philosophy for us, is a way of thinking about making these wines, and it starts in the vineyard. So what is this thinking? I was trying to take us back a little bit and approach the vineyard as was going on maybe a century ago. So the way of thinking is that every terroir is different, every year is different, and first we observe, and if it is needed, we step up and fertilize or water or do anything that we have to do. So this is the main idea, that every vineyard is different and we have to treat it differently. First, we are going to taste the Assyrtiko, which is one of the 4 wines of this series. Assyrtiko is one of the most important Greek varieties. It's very well known from Santorini. And we took some plants from Santorini and planted it in our vineyards. It has a very fruity aroma, like peach and apricot. In the taste, it has, of course, the minerality of this, which is a characteristic for this grape variety, and it has a really big and really full body mouth. Thank you very much. I think I did it too quick.
You did it in time. Yes, perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Vasilis, and come back to us soon. And now Gika perhaps is already there. Gika, hello. We see you. Yes.
Hello
Okay.
to everybody.
Hello.
So we will start.
You can start.
Yes.
Please mute your microphone, Vasilis, now. Oh, thank you. Yes. Right. So now it's you.
So,
Okay.
okay, thank you very much. We will start with the presentation, first of all. We are from 1905. Mr. George Vassiliou is the third generation. He studied enology in Dijon in France. Also, he lived for 10 years in France and worked in many chateaux in Bordeaux and in other cities in France. So when he came back, he continued to cultivate his vineyards here in Attiki and in EMEA also. He found the winery from 1985. We have about 50 hectares here in Attiki with the white varieties Savatiano and a little bit of Rhoditis and Malagousia. The production is done in the winery in Nemion Estate in Nemea. The harvest becomes about, for the white varieties, starts about 15th of September. We pick the grapes, we press them by the pneumatic presser, and then follows the alcoholic fermentation, as you know, in 16 degrees Celsius. After that, the white wines, we make the blends, and after that, the white wines will be bottled in order not to lose its freshness and its vitality. In 2004, we finished a new winery in EMEA, the Nemion Estate. There, everything works by the law of the gravity. We don't want to use pumps or cables or something else because we don't want the wine to be tired and lose its aromas and its freshness. Nemion Estate is near the Corinthos in the EMEA region. There we have about 10 hectares of Georgitico. All the vineyards belongs to PDO zone, and they are in about 400 to 600 meters above the sea level. There, the harvest becomes about 15th of October. We pick the grapes, of course, as you know, and the alcoholic fermentation becomes at 25 degrees Celsius. We leave the pills inside for a month, so we make, I think we make full-body wines. They are enough strong. They have a lot of tannins. So it is useful to be matured in wooden barrels for about 1 year until 2 years. It depends of the type. For the Grand Reserve, we need at least 2 years to be matured in the French oak wood. We use Second Moreau barrels at Berthomier, and we change them every 3 years, as you know. Georgitico is a very good grape variety, can give us full-bodied wines. It is not, we don't have high acidities. We take soft tannins, and also we have aromas of plums, cherries, and also the wines are full-bodied, and we can mature them for 10 years until 20 years, in my opinion. There is the white wine. It is called Abelones Vasiliou. Abelones Vasiliou means vineyards Vasiliou, comes from our vineyards here in Attiki. We have 80% Savatiano, and the other 20 is Roditis. Savatiano is a great variety, and we can use it for make blends with the Roditis, as you see here, or to make other wines such as Regina, or to make sweet wines. And also Savatiano is a variety that can be matured in the time. Here we taste it cold, and can give us aromas of lemon, of citrus. It goes very well with our first plates or with the fish and white meats. Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And tell me, you do not have an importer to Poland, yeah?
Yes, until now, no. We are very interested to export in Poland, of course.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Stay with us. Coming back. Something wrong with my micro, perhaps. Okay, stay with us. Mute your microphone now, and welcome, Stella. Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. So I mute myself because there's a problem. Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
So my name is Stella Daciu, and I work in the exports department of Telepos Wines. I hope everyone can hear me, and so let's begin to the basic information. Yanis Telepos is a Cypriot winemaker who studied in Burgundy, and he's the founder and owner of Telepos Wines. So our brand includes 3 distinct wineries. Ktima Telepos. Ktima means estate. So Ktima Telepos, Ktima Driopi, and Kanava Chrysou Telepos. Each one of them is situated in some of the main viticultural areas of Greece. So 2 wineries are found in the Peloponnese, in Mantinia and Nemea, while the newest member of our group is located in Santorini Island. But today we're going to get to know the Ktima Telepos and Ktima Driopi. Shall we move? Okay. So Ktima Telepos, being one of the pioneer wineries of the Greek wine renaissance that took place in the 90s, combines the winemaking philosophy of the old world along with the innovation technology of the new world. The main focus of our team is to highlight the ultimate expression of the indigenous noble Greek varieties, namely Moschofilero and Ayurgetico at the same time. So we focused on the development of a privately owned vineyard, which today consists of more than 65 hectares. Our Madimia winery started also its conversion to organic viticulture, which is expected to be completed by 2023. So to summarize, our goal is to be fully adequate on estate fruit within 5 years. Each winery focuses on one indigenous grape variety, and we have on future focus sustainability. Okay, so our projection is 500,000 bottles maximum for Ktima Telepos and 100,000 bottles for Ktima Driopi Nemea. And we should go to the tasting. Okay, we should skip, I think, but okay, perfect. So our first wine is Blanc de Gris, made by Moschofilero variety. Moschofilero is a grayish variety which produces mainly white wines. Blanc de Gris is the flagship of flagship wine of the company. With this one, we focus to highlight the aging potential of Moschofilero and produce more complex expression of the variety. Here we have the clay rocky soil with a perfect drainage. So about the winemaking, 1/3 of the mast is put into stainless steel tanks. Another fraction is into amphora, and the rest into large oak tanks, where the fermentation is carried out. Then we leave it 4 months with the lees for aging. So in the nose, we find white flowers, citrus fruit, and orange blossoms. We have a rich body in balance with its high acidity, and recommend aging to 3 to 5 years. That's it. I was quick.
Yeah, that was really quick. Thank you very much. I have to say, beautiful label, beautiful presentation. Even the boxes, because I touched the boxes, so even the boxes were pretty well done. So congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
Not only the inside, but also the outside. Thank you very much, Stella, and stay with us. And now George Kanakis from Cavino. And
Hello.
Hello. Yes. So I mute myself. And
good evening to everyone. My name is George Kanakis. I am export and marketing manager of Cavino Winery and Megaspilio Estate. So today I will tell you about Megaspilio mostly, but let me just tell you before a few words about Cavino, which owns Megaspilio Estate. Cavino, established in 1958 in Agios city in northwest part of Peloponnese, close to Patras city. From the very beginning, it was a winery, and later distillery were added to the plant. So the concept of the company from the beginning was export-oriented, and Cavino started for its activities from exporting of the wine outside of Greece. Currently, Cavino Winery is the largest exporter of Greek wines. We produce about 12 million bottles of wines, and we export more than 70% of this production. And in 1999, Cavino established Megaspilio Estate. Telling you about Megaspilio, it's a huge history because it started from the monastery of Megaspilio, which were established in 4th century AC, after Christ, yes. And the Megaspilio established this vineyard, this place, and the wines and the vineyard was well known from 16th century. So you can see on this photo actually the old winery of the monastery, which is 500 years old. It's maybe one of the oldest buildings in Greece, which saved until today, and it is actually was used for production of wine. So the monks were living there, and they were gathering the grapes from this place, making the must in the building, because on the first floor it is a stone tanks. And then they were transporting the mast to the monastery and keeping them in barrels in the monastery in the cave. So the cave was like a natural cellar for them. Of course, our winery, we found this place abandoned because the monks were abandoned the vineyard in 1916. So we planted the new wines in 2000. Such varieties like Mavro Daphne, Mavro Calavritino, International Cabernet Sauvignon Syrah, and some whites like Assyrtiko and Lagorthi. So we started Megaspilio from this place. It is located, can you go back, please? Yeah, so this vineyard was the starting point for us, and it is located in 800 meters above the sea. Behind of the vineyard, you can see the canyon. So this is a very unique natural place for having a vineyard, because it's constantly getting fresh air coming from the canyon with very cool temperature in the nights. Even in the hottest summer day, during the day you have there on the vineyard about 25, 26 Celsius, and during the night temperature falls to 12 or 15 degrees Celsius. And during the winter, we have some snow, of course, some rains. Gradually, we started extending the Megaspilio line with the new vineyard. So this vineyard, the vineyard of Megaspilio initially was only 11 hectares and giving us about 40,000 bottles, so quite low production per hectare. Next slide, please. Gradually, we started to increasing and buying or working on a long-term cooperation with local growers of this area. So as you can see, all this area of high mountains with altitudes from 700 meters to 1,000 meters above the sea, with a lot of vineyards. This area is calling Eyalia, Mountain Eyalia and Kalavrita in our part of Peloponnese. And from the right side, you can see just a small fragment of the vineyard, which we taste the next wine, which is Megaspilio Moscato. So we can go for a tasting. So Megaspilio Moscato, I hope you have it in the glass like me. Megaspilio Moscato is coming from the name of the wine, is coming from 100% Muscat grape, which is planted on the vineyard at 7,000 meters above the sea. The mountain is located just close to the sea, to the Corinthian Gulf. So from one point of view, you have a lot of fresh sea air coming through the vineyard all the year. And from the other point of view, you have a lot of sun exposure because the areas close to the sea has less rains and more sun exposure. So we keeping in this way very nice freshness in the grapes. The harvesting is usually taking place in early of September. We keep the wine 3 to 5 hours with skin contact, always under the control of temperature. Then after alcoholic fermentation, we keep it about 2 months on the lees. So if you taste the wine, you'll see a lot of freshness, intense aroma of flowers, of herbs, some citruses and exotic fruits. And at the same time, in your mouth, you'll see a lot of acidity, very nice freshness, a good volume with long taste, a long aftertaste. So this creates a very nice wine for instance, fish, for some salads or white meat, or even can be consumed without any gastronomic or food combination just during the hot summer day in your terrace or in your restaurant outside. So it's actually really good for us summer wine, which reflects Mediterranean style, a lot of aroma, very dry taste, a lot of acidity, great wine for many food and many restaurants. This is what I wanted to say for Megaspilio Moscato. That's it for now.
Thank you. You will come back with the red wine. Yeah. Thank you very much. The question, importer. Do you have an importer here in Poland?
Yes, I wanted to tell it about importers in the end, together with red wine, but I can tell it now. Of course, we have several importers in Poland. Actually, we are the biggest exporter of Greek wines to Polish market. So one of our importer, maybe the most concentrated on Horeca market, is a Eurofood Gastro, which is located in Warsaw. And also we have our old partner, which is Partner Center. So both these wines, I mean, the white Moscato and the red wine, are in a portfolio of both these importers. And of course, Eurogastro has a more large assortment of our wines.
Partner center. I believe they are amongst the attendees here. So yes. So
yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Peter.
And Stella, you're coming back with the first rosé. After the first rosé, we have a small break, 3 minutes for questions and answers. You can ask the questions on the chat. Yes, Stella, a to jest Blanc de Gris. Yeah. Hello, Stella again.
Hello again. So let's continue to our second wine from our second winery. So let's go to the slide. I think is number. Can you go to the next? Okay. 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 So after 30 years of experience in Mantinia, Yannis Tselopos decided to make a winery in the region of Nemea for producing a Georgitico variety. So here we have PGI Rosé, which comes from a high altitude, from a sub-region called as Procampos. The altitude is approximately 900 meters. So we have a semi-mountainous chalky clay soil with a dry climate that receives many cooling breezes. So we have a delicate pink color with a strong fruity aroma of strawberries and candies. So it's also rich in taste and crispy. It has crispy acidity with cherry jam notes. So for me, is easy drinking summer rosé, perfect as an aperitif. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Stella. Thank you very much. And the last question is your importer here in Poland. Do you have any?
Here, it's Partner Center. We are working with them. Yeah.
Again. Okay. Partner Center. Okay. From which? Yeah. Right.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. And Manolis, please join us. Manolis, hello. Hi. Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah. So the first part, the whites and rosé, is almost over, almost, because we have another one white at the end. Yeah. And well, any comments to the wines? Or
well, as you have tasted a lot of whites and one rosé, I'm sure that you find the freshness. The competitive advantage of the Greek wines that I told you for the whites is this freshness, the primary aromas that comes out in your nose and then in your palate. And to tell you one more hint, this is as we change our diet, our everyday food, these Greek wines and Peloponnesian wines are matching much better with our foods. Remember, 20 years ago or 30 years ago, we were eating mostly French cuisine, which has, you know, a lot of meat, a lot of sauce, potatoes, and heavy food for our stomach. Now we are getting in a more healthy diet, more Mediterranean, and that is the best combination with the Greek wines and the Peloponnesian wines. So think about it when you want to eat more healthy.
Okay, yeah. Tell me
one more question that I've seen. Somebody asks about organic wineries, if they improve the sales. And I said 30% of our wineries in the ENOAP are organic, And of course, they improve their sales very well to very selective buyers. And also you sell in a better price, because everybody expects from organic wines to be much more higher price than ordinary wines. But the good thing is that also it gives you these aromas that we said before more naturally, and that's what we actually do, and we're focusing on having more than 50% of our wineries being organic for the next 3 to 5 years.
Okay, well, that's even Strophilia was even with the sign vegan. So you keep up the changes with the changes. So, right. Okay. What's important here? It's the altitude, I think, for the whites especially. And actually, everybody claims has the highest vineyards in Europe. Cyprus, Switzerland. I visited a vineyard in Switzerland, which was the highest, let's say, but it was one or two bushes. Yes, no. But was the highest there in Peloponnese? The highest vineyard is located at which altitude?
1,200 meters. As I show you in the map, first in the Europe, there's mountains that coming all from the mainland and goes down to Peloponnese. So in the middle of Peloponnese, it's big mountains, and especially in Arcadia, which is a plateau in the center of Peloponnese, it's more than 800 meters up the plateau and goes up to 1,500 meters. So, but even in Nemea, you have high altitude just as Procampos, and all around Peloponnese you find big mountains that 3 to 4 months a year they have snow also.
Snow, yeah. But 1,200 meters. This is with no oxygen mask. It's difficult, yeah. Okay.
Also in Egiali, it's more than 800. It's another plateau over there. Guys, we're waiting for you to make a tour to you. Just come in Greece.
Okay. Thank you very much, Manolis. Let's go to the red part, of the tasting, and the first is Domain Skouras again. Thank you, Manolis. Domain Skouras and no, it's Dafazanis. Sorry, it's Vasilis. I'm sorry. Yes, don't forget to use this one tasting. So Vasilis, hello. Come back to us, Vasilis, please. Yes, almost did it. You almost. Yeah. Hello. Now we can't hear you. We can see you. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. So now is the second wine.
Perfect. So, Agorgitiko, Nemea is the biggest wine region in Greece, and Agorgitiko is the reason for that, because it's a very beautiful variety and a very important variety. It makes a lot of different styles. This is a fresh Agorgitiko without any barrel. It has about 6 to 7 days of maceration with the skins. This wine is a very fruity and a really smooth red wine. That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And tell me about the importer. Do you have any?
We don't have any importers in Poland.
Okay.
Yeah, but we'd love to have one. And I have been to Poland. It's a very beautiful country. We would love it.
Okay, yeah. I'm from Krakow.
I have been to Krakow. The only trip I've made is to Krakow. Perfect.
Yeah, don't go.
Thank you very much for the opportunity of telling you about our winery.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And yes, stay with us if there's any questions. And now we're coming back to Domain Skouras. Yes, hello. Who's from Domain Skouras? She was already with us, Maria. Yeah, it was Aris. Yeah. Hello. Yeah, hello again. So
hello again, everybody.
Hello. 3 minutes for you.
Fantastic. So the second wine is a red wine coming from Nemea. This is a PDO Nemea made from Agrigetico grape. It's 100% Agrigetico or St. George, if it is easier for you. So this is a wine that is fermented and macerated in stainless steel vats for approximately 12 days. Then it goes into used French barriques for 12 months, where the malolactic fermentation takes place. And after the 12 months of maturation, it spends another 6 months in the bottle, just to be ready for the consumers to drink it. So, as I said, it's coming from Nemea. An average altitude is 650 meters, so it's fairly high. As we said before, this is for retaining acidity and primary flavors. The average age of the vines is 30 years, and the yields are 54 hectoliters per hectare. Harvest is normally around mid of September. And this is a medium-bodied red wine with nice texture on the palate, soft tannins. It's quite aromatic. The nose reveals aromas of red fruit, like raspberries and cherries, with a touch of sweet spices, which is very typical for Agrigetico, like cloves and cinnamon. On the palate, it's medium-bodied. As I said, it's quite soft, very elegant tannins. It has long finish, and again, the flavors on the palate follows the aromas on the nose, mainly red fruit and sweet spices. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah. So the next, stay with us, please. And yeah, the question about the importer.
We don't have an importer currently in Poland, but we're in the final stage of discussion with one. So I can tell you more maybe in a few weeks.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, thank you. Stay with us in case of the questions, right? Please, and very happy to. Yeah, and Maria, hello.
Hello again, guys.
Hello again. Yes.
So happy to be here. I'm listening to very, very important stuff for everybody here, from everybody, and beautiful wines. I missed everybody in Greece because due to coronavirus, I haven't seen most of them. I usually see them in the exhibitions. Anyway, thank you, Manoli, for setting this up. So this is Stroflia Estate Crossroads. This is a dry red wine, PGI from Peloponnese. It's again with Lear system. This is very important for us. That's why I mentioned it. So it's a Georgitico and Syrah. I would like to say that this blend, how to say it, if you would like to to set a style for this wine, I would definitely say that it's a wine for restaurants. Why do I say that? Because it can be combined with most dishes with meat and red sauces. It can be a real balladeer. It's ready to drink. So this beautiful blend is very important because Ayurvedico gives this wine an elegancy, maybe freshness, intensity of aromas and flavors. When Syrah comes and gives its maybe more dense structure and powerful tannins. It has a medium acidity, a ruby red color, and fruity aromas of red fruit from Ayurvedico and maybe black fruit from Syrah. I would like to say that Ayurvedico is maybe a multi-dynamic variety. It can produce a large range of styles, so we really appreciate that in Greece. When Syrah can produce very high quality wines, I would say that Syrah in Greece, it's more a style of New World and thrives in the warm climate. That's about it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We have no importer in Poland. I would love that we had one, and I hope you enjoy the wines.
Okay. Thank you very much. You read in my mind. Very important. Okay. Thank you very much, Maria. It was a pleasure.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you, and stay with us, please. In case
okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Yeah. So now we go to the. Yeah, it's the first. Yeah, it's your first time here. Hello.
Yes. Hello.
Hello. Hello, Dimitria and Karparousis. Yes, so you have the presentation and longer time for tasting. And the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I'm Dimitra Parparousi. I'm representing Parparousis Winery. We are a family winery. We were founded in 1974 by our parents. Here on the photo, you can see my sister Erifili and my father. We are the second generation, and we are running the winery with our father now. We are in on the next slide. You can see we are in Patras. We are in northwest of Peloponnese, and there in Patras is the winery and the vineyard, and also the main vineyard is 35 kilometers near to this beautiful place, which is it is called Kalogria. It is protected Natura 2000 area. There are some a special pine tree forest and sand dunes. It's a beautiful virgin place. And on the next slide, we can see our vineyard. There, the wines we produce are from Greek varieties and are mainly from our vineyard. And there you can see, yes, there you can see our beehives, which existing in our vineyard. And on the next slide, we can see the wine, which is from Mavrodaphne variety. Traditionally, Mavrodaphne was producing dessert wine, and the last 20 years from the 19th century, and the last 20 years we are making in the area also dry wine, dry red wine. So a few words about our vineyard. The soil is sandy with some alluvial deposits with limestones, gravels, and sediments. The cultivation is organic. Our first certified organic vintage will be 2022. The harvest is in mid-September, hand-picked, and the vinification is classic red. We have 24 months in French oak, 40% new and 60% third use. The characteristic of this variety is the herbal character and the black fruits and black berries. And for me, it is a sense of walking in a forest after the rain. And it can age very well. We can keep it for 7 to 10 years. That's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, and it was a Labrador, the dog?
It could be. His mother is Saint Bernard, and his father is White Shepherd.
Okay, yeah, so.
He's 60 kilos dog. It's
60. Okay, right. And the last question about the importer.
No, we don't have an importer.
No importer. Okay, perfect. So you come back with the last one, last wine, yeah, wine. And thank you very much for this comment. And see you soon. Yes, see you soon.
See you soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye. And now George Kanakis, and yeah, no, it's me, not George, not George. George Kanakis. Hello, Cavino. Yeah, are we gonna taste alone without George? George, hello. Yeah. Yeah, I have some jokes, yes, prepared for such situation, but perhaps not yet. George? Hey, yes, you saved them. Hello, yeah. So
Yeah. Finally. Okay, everything is okay. So our second wine, which is red wine, by the way, before you tasted 100% Mavrodaphne, which is a really great wine. And now I will present you our Megaspilio Cuvée 3, which is a blend of 3 varieties. One of it is Mavrodaphne, 40%. The other one is Cabernet Sauvignon, 40% again. And the last one is Ayurgitico, 20%. All of these varieties are coming from the high altitude vineyard, which is inside of Peloponnese, closer to Kalavrita city. In the first wine of Moscato that we tasted exactly from the vineyard close to the sea at high elevation, of course. This one, we are going inside, so we approaching more humid climate, more wet climate with more rains, and more cool climate. And higher elevation, we are talking about 900 to 1,000 meters above the sea. And the harvest we do in the middle of October. So the grapes are really good matured with a lot of sugar, a higher sugar level. So we are getting the result a wine with higher alcohol level of about 14 degrees here. So each variety is vinified separately, and then we keep the wine with the skins until the end of fermentation. the final blend is matured in new American oak for 8 to 9 months. And as a result, we are getting very concentrated with deep color wine, deep red color with some blue hints. We have very complex and aromatic wine with a lot of red fruits, black fruits, sweet spices, some vanilla notes. It's very well balanced. It has some acidity and soft tannins, so it can really support different kind of food. Of course, mainly red meat made from oven or from grill. Our wine Megaspilio Q3 Red is the best seller of the whole range of Megaspilio, and it's well deserved for this wine. Just to tell you that totally the whole Megaspilio range gives us currently about 350,000 bottles, so it's like a boutique estate. And Moscato, the first one, we produce about 40,000 bottles per year, and this one we have about 70 to 80,000 bottles per year. So this is the let's say the more producive wine in the whole range of Megaspilio. So that's it for this wine. Thank you very much for tasting. I hope you liked our wines.
Thank you, George. Yes, I did. Yes, I can say I did. Hope.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Piotr.
Thank you, and stay with us, please, if there's any questions. Thank you. And now Panagula, yeah, and Klima Palivu. Yeah. Hello.
Hello again.
Hello again.
For the second wine, next slide, yes, we have a wine that consists of 100% Agorgitiko. As Mr. Yamniadakis mentioned, in Greece we have approximately 300 varieties, but there is a dispute about the exact number. 4 of them are more representative, and one of them is Agorgitiko. The name of the winery is Amos is Amos Terra Leone. Amos means sand, and it is inspired by the soil composition. The vineyards that we have in ancient Nemea are on the surface clay loamy with rocks, and after 1 meter depth, the soil has a lot of sand that is a result of basically crushed sandstones. So the roots of the vines go quite deep. Terra Leone means the land of the lion, because we had the first labor of Hercules here, and we say that we were blessed with a red grape variety because the blood of the lion runs through our soil. And as I mentioned, we participate to researches. Mainly, we use the experimental vineyards for this wine. We monitor the weather condition with 3 meteorological stations in order to understand better the photosynthetic needs of the plants and to optimize the leaf wall. And additionally, we apply stress water, and we measure the humidity constantly. Regarding the vinification process, we start with a cold maceration for 5 days at 8 degrees Celsius. And then we move to traditional red fermentation for approximately a total of 24 days, but it depends. We measure, of course, tannins and anthocyanins. And then we age for 18 months in barrels. 80% of the barrels are French and 20% are American oak. And all of them are brand new. The size of the barrels are 90% of 225 liters and 10% of 500 liters. And it is a single vineyard. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And the last question is about the importer.
No, we don't have, but of course we would love to have some importers there.
Okay, so this is Terra Leone. This was Terra Leone. Thank you very much, and stay with us, please, in case of questions.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now Gika and Nemea Vasiliou. Are we going too fast? You can answer on chat. Yes, I mean the. No, it's okay. Thank you. Thank you, Yora. Yes, thank you.
Okay. So hello again.
Hello
Yes.
again. So it's
hello again. So the second wine is a red from us. This is a Nemea. That means that the wine is pure Agorgitico, and the vineyards belongs to PDO zone. The harvest becomes at 15 of October. About 15 of October, we pick the grapes, and then the fermentation becomes at 25 degrees Celsius. After the end of the alcoholic fermentation, the wine will be matured in French oak or wooden barrels for 14 months. And it is we have soft tannins, it is balanced, round, and can give us a very a tasteful taste. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So, yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, so this wine can be matured in the bottle for 10 years. We have aromas of plums and cherries combined with the aromas of the barrels, like cinnamon, clove, and we can drink it with red meats or with coq au vin or with any kind of cheese. So, this is our presentation for this wine.
Thank you very much. So it was almost the oldest red wine here, as we have just one older, which is 2003, but it's a sweet, red but sweet. Huh? Okay.
No,
so
it's dry.
Shows how. So yeah.
Dry.
Thank you. You're frozen. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Please stay with us in case of the questions from the audience, right? And hello, you hear me?
Yes,
no?
hello. Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
Okay.
I will stay with you, of course, until then.
Right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then and now Maria and Achilles, yeah. And two wines at once, Nemea Winery and Klima Kutsodimos. Yes. Hello.
Dzień dobry.
Dzień dobry.
Witam.
Świetnie. Wszystko będzie po polsku?
That's all with my Polish.
Okay. Kalimera. Yeah.
Kalimera.
Okay.
So, good evening from me too. Maria is our export manager, and I'm the commercial director of Nemea Winery. We would like briefly to introduce our winery, starting with, I think, we certainly have tasted some great wines, but our conversation was too technical, as it always is. I think we keep forgetting that we drink wine for the joy of life. This is quite an old tradition in Greece, more than 3 years old, or 4 years, as Manoli said earlier. We will not argue on that. So our motto is the joy of life, because we want to focus on making wines for the joy of life. Can we have the next slide, please? So our winery was founded in 1985, ranks among the 10 biggest wineries in Greece, and is the biggest in the EMEA region. We have a production capacity of 12,000 tons, not 100 liters, that is mentioned here, out of almost 200 hectares in EMEA and Madinia. So instead of giving you lots of information that I'm afraid you will not remember at the end of the day, I would like to present you briefly our collection of wines. So let's please have the next one. Each collection of wine has a philosophy and is targeted to different segments of the market. And we will start with the signature collection, which is the high-end wines we make for the wine lovers. So we use here the best of our grapes and the fine art of the winemaker and the most technologically advanced methods like cold extraction, surly, matured in oak and all that. With this range, we have 3 whites, 1 red, and 1 rosé. Our red is Nemea PDO with a gold award, with gold and other awards in
Mundus
Mundus Vini this year. Our rosé is a blend of Agorgitico and Moscofilero varieties you've heard so many times today, with a silver award in the same in Mundus Vini. Malagousia with gold extraction, Surly with gold in Mundus Vini, Madinia with a silver award, and Assyrtiko. So this is our top range, we call it signature. The other range of wines, we call it the varietal collection, what we want here is the authentic expression of the variety without heavy techniques to verify what would the variety give us. So let's see the next. All wines are PGI. We have Agorgitico, Moscofilero, and Malagousia. Can we go to the next one, please? Abelomythos, if you translate it, is the myth of the vine, is our best value for money wine series. Let's see the next one, please. So we have a white, a rosé, yellow, Recina, and a medium sweet red in this range. Now, okay, the ladies collection. Perhaps we're the first to introduce worldwide a range of wines for the ladies. And what is different with the ladies? Research has shown that women are 20% more keen in understanding taste and aroma. And for many countries, they count for more than 60% of the total wine consumption. To give you an example, this is the case in Germany, in UK, in USA, and other countries. After this particularity, women prefer smooth wines, but they also like wines to have very strong aroma. So let's see the next slide, please. So this is the ladies' collection. We have a fruity white, a delicate rosé, and a juicy red. They are blended wines, smooth in taste, but with high aroma. Now let's go to the next slide. The final collection we're going to present you is called the Fun Collection. It is aimed to the younger. Traditionally, young people do not like wines based on our research, this is because they prefer to drink sweet beverages like colas with their food. So it's not very fun for them to drink dry wines. So we designed a range especially for them. Please, let's go to the next slide. We call it the Fun Collection. They are medium sweet wines. The Nectarus White, Joyous Rosé, and Lucius Red. They are targeted for this segment of the market. Now, let's see the next one. Well, before entering this session, we made the research about the Polish market. And we found that Poland is the largest wine importer in Eastern Europe, fifth most attractive wine market with a growth of range of 5.3%. Poles generally prefer red wines, followed by sweeter whites, mainly sweet or semi-dry wines. Households remain unwilling to spend more than $15 a bottle, and average they buy wines between $5 to $10. There is an increase in consumption of lifestyle wines, and consumption is driven by young urban professionals. Based on these facts, we have decided to show to you, please go to the next, and this is where we start our tasting, the fruity white from the latest collection, which is a semi-dry white wine. And now we're going to taste it with you. Maria, would you like to describe it? To present it, please.
What prevails is the aroma. The aromas are very profound. You can smell flowers and peach and apricot, roses. The acidity is not very high. The taste is full and smooth. Also very aromatic, and the finish is extremely long. I think.
Yeah. Well, that's for the fruity white from the ladies' collection. And now let's go to the next, please. And now we're gonna taste Lucius Red, which is a red semi-sweet wine from the Fun Collection. If you read what we're saying about the characteristics, you will see we are saying that it's a great match for web surfing, watching the games, watching the movies, partying, sweet and sour dishes, fresh and dried fruits and chocolate. Makes great cocktails too. What else could you possibly ask for? This is what is presented in the back of the wine, in the back label, because this is what young people do all the time. So let's taste the wine.
You can find mainly red fruits, cherries, strawberry. It's also very, very, very aromatic. Caramel, yes, of course. The acidity is also low, but in the mouth it's pretty sweetish. And very pleasant.
So that is from us from Nemea Winery. I hope you enjoyed the wines and the approach for the segments of the market, which is very important because people are very confused if they go in a shelf and see hundreds of different wines. They cannot really understand what it is there for them. And we're trying to make this very simple.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Just one thing you were saying about the German market. So let me tell you, there's a huge difference between a German woman and a Polish woman, and Polish woman is much more decision maker.
Okay. What I was saying about the German market is that 60% of the wine consumption in Germany comes from women. And this is part of the research.
Mm.
So I don't think it has to do with the way people decide. It's only volume. But you're saying something different. We don't really know the Polish market as we don't have an importer there. So the way to understand it is through research, which we presented earlier.
If the Polish women are more decision makers, this means that this wine will be better in the Polish market. So, yeah.
Perhaps, yeah. It's it can be, yes. It's just different. We are neighbors, but we are a little bit different. Yeah, with Germany. Okay, thank you very much. It was interesting, and please stay with us. And
I'll have to say goodbye, but Maria is staying with you because I have my second appointment for vaccination in an hour. But Maria will stay here and will be able to answer anything you like. So thanks for having us. Bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, and we are coming to Parparusis and the last wine today, which is the natural sweet red wine from 2003. Yes. So, hello again.
Hello.
You're mute. Yeah, we hear you. Yes.
Hello. Hello. Now the second wine that I'm presenting is a PDO Mavrodaphne of Patras. It is a reserve of 2003. Here we have an altitude of 350 meters with gravels. And in the dry, before we had zero altitude, we had sea level. Here in Patras, we produce dessert sweet Mavrodaphne from 1860. And as you can see, it was very famous at the time. Here we have 75% Mavrodaphne, 25% of resins of Corinth. The legislation says that it has to be more than 1% of resin in the blend. We have classic red vinification with and it is fortified with eau de vie de vin of Mavrodaphne wine that we produce. We also have a distillery. We produce eau de vie de vin and spirits. It has been 17 years in French oak in constant temperature. And you can see on the nose and on the mouth and aftertaste the aromas, the dry fruits, all that complexity that has this wine. We can compare it with cheese with strong character, like Roquefort, Stilton, blue cheese. And also, if we want, with dark chocolate and dried fruits and nuts and all that. It has 19% of alcohol, this wine, and 80 grams of sugar per liter. If you have any questions.
And the main market, thank you very much. And the main market for these wines, for sweet reds, it's France, UK.
As we are an export company, we export more than 55% of our production, mainly in USA, Canada, and Europe. USA likes a lot Mavrodaphne and Miscaovrio that we also make. It is a very good market for them. And also, yes, it is France mainly. They're in their culture, the dessert wine. Here in Greece, although we produce very good dessert wines, it is not in our culture so much the dessert wine after the meal.
Okay. Thank you very much. And what's the life expectancy of this wine, this 2003, according to you?
Excuse me?
Expectation, life expectation. How long we can keep it?
We can keep it for a long time. More than 20 years, I believe.
Again, more.
Yes, I was young when it was first we put it in the barrel, and now it has been 17 years. No, it's 18 years. So I hope that we can keep it for 20 years.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure. And where's the dog?
I am somewhere.
Somewhere.
Somewhere outside, yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yes, and that was the last wine. So perhaps Manolis will join us. Yeah. Hello, Manolis.
Hello, Manolis.
Hello. Well, Dimitra is very shy, and you see here with the last wine of Mavrodaphne Reserve, and modest also about the expectation. We have tasted older Mavrodaphnes, some of them more than 80 years old. So the expectancy will be more than 20, as she said, because she's a modest girl, just like all the family. But the wine still, I believe, still tastes in most of you in there. I want to thank you all because it was just like a speed date here of wine tasting. But we wanted you to fall in love with each type of the wines that you can taste. Today was the very first webinar of 9 wineries, and we expect the next Monday to have 10 more wineries, and continue till you taste more of Peloponnese and more of Greece. I want to tell you that winemaking is, as I told you with Dionysus, it's a part of our everyday life. We cannot imagine ourselves not drinking a glass of wine with our meal or dinner or going out with friends. Actually, Greeks drinks wine with friends or family. We usually don't drink it by ourselves. We don't go to home and just drink a liter of wine. We want to have friends, family, people gatherings. That's why we feel for the wine. We said that we are friends when we drink with someone wine. And to tell you some of the things that you would love to remember, we have a lot of stories and mythology coming up. One of them is Aiorgitiko, as they told you, from the grape variety of Nemea. Aiorgitiko actually in the ancient times was, I don't recall who told you, that it was the blood of the lion that killed by Hercules. That was ancient Greece. Then, of course, you know that we use it in Greek Orthodox as a wine as the blood of the Jesus Christ, and we use it to the church. But the name Agioργitiko, which actually means Saint George, was named by when we were occupied by the Ottoman Empire, the Turks, because they wanted to rip away all our vines, because we produce alcoholic beverages, wine. The people of Nemea gathered and said, it's not for our pleasure. We drink it for church, for religious purpose, and 5 times a day, but for religious purpose, right? So they donate their vines to the monastery of St. George, and then each time they said, I go to harvest the vines of St. George, I go to the Agioργitiko. Agios Georgios in Greek means St. George. So then it becomes familiar, the name, and everybody said, I go to harvest Agioργitiko, St. George wine, and that's how it take the name. More stories, more interesting facts and figures on the next webinar. So stay tuned. I want to thank all of you that been here for us.
Thank you very much, Manolis, and thank you all for being. We keep the regular time, but we had more wines than usually. So that was really fast. Yes, and thank you all, and see you in next Monday. Yes, and thank you very much, Manolis.
Thank you very much, Piotr, for organizing this. If you have any question, please send it to the email that I send you, or whatever you need, just contact Piotr or me, and we'll be on your side.
Yeah, you'll be given the prices, the contacts, etc., for the wines we tasted. Yeah. Well, any questions? No, rather congrats and regards.
Thank you very much for your kind words also.
Okay, so that's it for the first Monday, first Greek Monday, and yeah, see you soon. Thank you very much.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.